So water plays a very important role, Dr. Amron, in agriculture, in industry, in all areas of our life. Can you please relate your experience to the Indonesian economy, water, and the necessary enabling environment which is needed to move forward on economy?
You mentioned enabling environment, so that requirements will be law and regulations. So first we uh, changed or amended the old law that's more centralized and more government oriented. Then the next law is more involvement of peoples, also decentralized things. So that water management is not just the government, but also from other parts of the uh, people's, publics, and also the community.
So from an economy which is a big economy such as Indonesia, number 16 on the basis of just the nominal GDP, water plays very important role in all sectors. And for that, to bring it down to the level of individual, we need to have the river basin organizations. We need to bring the responsibilities in the right way, and there must be enabling environment with the law. So can you please relate to us the time when you were working with the MDGs to the time now where you played a very important role with the SDGs and a vision for Pakistan Vision 2025. Can you please relate us how things change in the context of water economy in Pakistan?
So MDGs were considered as basically environment and economy. Moving from that, what we experienced that the partnership line, which was considered assistance from the developed countries to the developing countries or underdeveloped countries, become an issue of irritation. And
Hmm.
that never came. Formal partnerships and informal partnerships. So while we were working in New York on a UN built farm, I was one of the team to design SDGs. So I was not representing water there. I was representing the overall government of Pakistan. So we insisted that water should be an independent goal. So it has become SDG 6 now, which is
Hmm.
something big achievement. We moved on to safe water. Then we
Hmm.
defined that the safe water. And another basic thing which we changed that it is not a global agenda. It is a national agenda. So
Hmm.
for MDGs, we said that not has to be reduced to half. That if there are 100 million people which do not have access to safe water, they will reduce to half. But now we have left it to the national governments. For
Hmm.
example, in Pakistan, we have committed that we will provide safe water to 100% population.
Yeah.
We also have made financial locations like that in the national budget and the provincial budget.
Water is a public good or is it a private good? Should we pay for water or water is a basic human right and we should provide free to everybody? Can you give us experience from Indonesia?
As you mentioned that water, whether it's public or economic good, I think that we go back to the water declarations that water is public with economic value in it. So that still that social and environments must be also taken into consideration, not just the economy. So that's this is interesting that about water rights, because then if we say about water rights, then if we use to the business entity, then they have kind of water rights for the business. So that's this is conflicting in our experience in our regulations. That then if we give right to business entity, then what about the other peoples? So that's so we just change that use terms permits. So it's not
Permit.
right
Mhm.
permit. So that's industries and others is can allow certain amount of water and utilize it, not own it. That government have to provide minimum requirements. That's in the law is about 60 liter per day per capita. So
Yeah.
that's minimum requirements. So that's this kind of law. That's kind of right. So that people have to get those amount of minimum water.
Can you give us idea how did you bring integrated water resources management in the plans which you have been preparing? And also kindly give us the idea about Pakistan Vision 2025 and how did you achieve the political buy-in, which is very difficult when a river is shared by many stakeholders with different interests, and how do we create consensus for future?
But since from centuries we have wars on water, our civilizations rise and fall on water. So inherently it is very, very difficult. So moving on that, it happens to perchance that I had worked all the political parties of Pakistan, the People's Party of Pakistan, Pakistan Muslim League known, the Tehreek-e-Insaf, the present ruling party, and the nationalist parties of Balochistan. A force policy will always have a deviation from practice. Practice would be something different than policy. If you want a coherence and agreement, you must work with their understandings. So I'm very grateful to the all parties leaders that they agreed what was drafted by the planning commission.
So certainly we need to think about the economies and the role water plays in the water economy. And it's not just one sector, all sectors benefit from water. Indonesia is a great nation with 270 million or more people in this country, great economy from the GDP point of view or from the PPP point of view. But certainly, water is not only agriculture, water is also industry, water is our life. So, we need to very carefully think about all those aspects. And Dr. Amron has clearly mentioned the link which is for the small landholders and the role which water plays for the agriculture part of the economy. Also, the water which is taken from the environment, how the private water companies are using that, and how this water becomes available to the people. But also, different situations are different. Integrated approaches are very important. The work which has been done in the area of integrated river basin management, the example of Brantas is a very important example. We need to take the spiral approach. And also, very importantly, we need to think about the whole water cycle, and water cooperation is critical among nations, and Japan has been playing an important role. And we need to continue to bring this knowledge. So, and also from Pakistan, Professor Naseer Gillani has given us very important ideas how MDGs transformed and how we come to the SDGs, and in the process, the very important definitions of what is safe water, what is safe drinking water, the role which water is playing in the agriculture part of the economy, but also the water which is important for the whole nation for moving forward. The planning processes, how they have benefited from the knowledge which is from other nations and also the knowledge which is within the nation, and the critical role of political support and making sure water rights are properly considered and there is a constructive way forward. The National Water Accord has been mentioned very clearly for Pakistan. The Pakistan Vision 2025, putting the sound footing and foundation for the water management into future. The projects like what we did in the early warning system in Pakistan with the great support from Professor Naseer Gillani and other colleagues has helped build local capacity. The projects must be considered as catalytic projects. They are not the projects only from the point of view of aid, but catalytic projects, the role of international experts, the local capacity which is built. And now we need to think about the bigger water economy and the business case for water and how we can continue to mobilize the international expertise and the body of knowledge which is there. Water, whether it's a public good or it's a private good, that question will continue. But certainly, Dr. Emran has given us very clear idea that there is a requirement for basic minimum provision. Like in case of Indonesia, 60 liters per capita per day as a basic requirement to be provided. And it's not something simple. It's very important, but also very difficult tasks. For that, the government, the people in the areas, the businesses, everyone has to work together so that we can achieve the sustainable development goal number 6, which is about water. And if we achieve the SDG number 6, we can help all other SDGs and we can move the economy to the next level.